Hey guys, Julian here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to sort of more effectively layer like synths and stuff together. I think there's a lot of information out there, but a lot of it can be kind of confusing, so I wanted to make one video where it just kind of shows you what you need to know. So I have this track I was working on. I'll play it for you in a second, but as you can see, all of these layers are the synths. So there's a lot of layering going on here. But here's the track. And you can imagine probably how the rest goes. But yeah, so I'll just start from the top down here. So this first one's muted. It's just like this piano I was messing around with. It's just in there. But the main chord synth is two parts. It's this and this. And so what I'm doing here is I have two layers, and I'm sort of trying to get the best of both. That's like the idea that you want to have going into this. Is like you want to figure out what each layer is doing, like what is most prominent in each layer. For example, in this layer, it's like the low midsy kind of sound, and then in this layer, it's that like kind of tropically sort of like belly kind of pluck. This is all, you know, very strange terms, I know, but the thing is like you don't want to just get random layers. Like you don't want to have two things that are doing what this is doing. You want to have this and then this, and you put them together, and like I said, you get the best of both worlds. There's really not too much to say about that. I'll show you the lead because this is a pretty good example again of what I'm saying. The lead sounds like this on its own. And it's two layers. It's this layer and then this layer. And so you can hear these are two very, very different sounds. I'm not layering together like three of these like bandpass type of leads. I'm layering together this one and then this like vocal synth. And you really, like, I can't stress this enough, because when I first started producing, like, I would think, oh, okay, to make a sound fat, I need three of the same type of sound, and I put them together and then it'll be huge. But that's not really the case. It's actually the opposite. That's just going to make it messy and sort of like not focused and not tight sounding. But by doing this method where you try to find different sounds and get the best of all of them, it's just a lot more effective. It's going to sound a lot better. So, like I said, this is the lead. And we're getting the best of this vocal, which is like the vocally kind of sound to it and the sort of like warmth it has while still playing some very high notes. And then we're getting this one, which is obviously going to give like that kind of like more brassy kind of, like I said, like bandpass lead kind of sound. Now, the bass is also somewhere that I want to talk about stuff, because I used a little bit of EQ to layer these together. All of the stuff I've shown you so far, I didn't even really need to EQ it to layer it together because they were very different sounds. But with the bass, you're usually going to need to get some EQ because, like, you'll see what I mean when I show you the layers, but this is what the bass sounds like. And on its own, it's this, this, and then this. That last layer is the one you probably hear the most prominently, but if you just play it on its own, it's not strong enough. You need the other two layers. So what these are is this like one shot, and then this subby kind of patch, and then this one, which is more of like a big mid-range bass. And so I did use a little EQ here because I wanted to have this like FM kind of pluck sound, but it didn't have enough sub. The sub was kind of lacking, so what I did was I cut the sub out of this one, and then I have this layer under it, and that gives it like the true like deep bass kind of sound that I wanted. And then this thing just sort of sits on top. But again, just like with the leads, you hear all three of these are very different sonically. None of them are really occupying any of the same spaces. And that's like the main thing, you know? It's like, I really can't stress this enough. You don't want to have to shape your sounds so much. Like, you want to use sounds that are already pretty much in the shape you want them to be, and maybe you have to, you know, shape them a little bit. Like with this bass where I cut out the low end. But for the most part, like I said, you just don't want to do like 3 of this mid-range bass, for example, and then try to shape them, or whatever kind of thing you could try to do. It's really better to start with a sound that's 90% of the way there with no processing, and then get it the last 10% with processing. So that was again the idea here. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. I mean, the main takeaway things are, like I said, like, find sounds that are different and layer those together. Don't try to layer similar sounds together. And if you do that, chances are you'll probably make a pretty good full sound, and it'll sound good. So like I said, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for checking this tutorial out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe, share this video, check out my socials, check out my sample packs, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another tutorial. Goodbye.